7 grams. K-Cello. R.I.P. the WAP. I miss you, my nigga.
Okay, I'm feeling good on a bad day. Put the phone in the gas tank. I'm mad. Put your day. Put the whole the lottery. Don't deal with a side fee as a young nigga, so a lot of things. In the trap with dime piece. My blocks would be. I'll never sleep. We got lost in the street lights, 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 lost in the. We in the club all night. Yeah. We got lost. Where do I start? Where do I start? Meditating, I get on my thought. Was all like it's the minute you whom you trust, real body your door, that you can pin in your door. You hit it to get you with check. Keep on your name. Shut up, blowing Cuban cigars and lanes in the boring car. You know, you was niggas lost, breaking laws of all sorts, living life without cause. Few of us here to reminisce, but most of the clique is gone. We never knew to do with to compensate for our flaws. So what do you do to cope? Nobody hope. So we always smoking codeine cause we need. We hold smoking the codeine cause we need hope. I'm like a big in the night. Lost in the street lights, lost in the street lights, lost in the street lights. In the club all night. We got it on the street lights. Lights on the street lights, lost in the street lights.
This is another radio show. You already. And I introduce my brother, who gonna bring you some of that powerful knowledge and spread affirmation. Get familiar. Link on the page for the vibes. NAGA. This.
Supreme Rising. Wanting to do an upload this morning, but I didn't have enough space on my phone. So I got like into like 9 minutes. So I'm like, damn, I'm gonna have to do it this way. So I was gonna upload it, right? Upload it. So then it can be, I can just like stream it. You know what I'm saying? But it was like a gig. Like it was like a 1 point something gigs or whatever. So that's gonna take like 2 hours to transfer from phone. Well, I ain't that's what I'm gonna do. I should have did that with the other cord at, yo. I should have did this earlier. I was sitting there because I'm sitting there trying to figure out. Oh, this ain't the one. I was sitting there trying to figure out how. I was sitting there trying to figure out how I was gonna get it. Here it is. Is this it? I can use this one. I was there trying to figure out how I was gonna get the file over to the thing. Oh, okay. It's our first, not our third. I don't understand what you're saying. You're gonna have to be a little more clear. What you mean? Anyway, I was trying to get the file over to the thing or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, and I didn't get a chance to. So I'm gonna try to see if I could do it this way. Because if I try to upload it, it's gonna take like Bluetoothing it is gonna take all day. So I just remembered I could do it this way. You know what I'm saying? I could just like file transfer video. All right, open files. Over there. See, doing it this way, it'll just slow it there. Like it won't take no time or whatever. These is that. I need the videos though. Hmm. Okay. There you go. Okay, so now take it like this, download, and that should work. Yeah, they say it's taking like 4 minutes now. It's going fast. It's gonna go really fast. So yeah, I don't have to like wait too long. With me, yo, just bear with me, please. I got some stuff. I'm after the way I started because yo, a lot of knowledge, yo. It was crazy. I got a chance to for a while. Charge up, yo. I was in nature. Woo. The things I saw, yo, like the pictures, the dual cloud aspect ratios. Oh my goodness. It's some of the things I got the dragon in the sky. I got the oh my goodness. It's just so much I saw yesterday, yo. You know what I'm saying? And what's crazy is we're gonna get into all that. I can't throw away the bill. It's 3 minutes. A few more minutes. It ain't gonna take that long. But well, The pineal gland is behind the eyes in the center of the brain, attached to the pituitary gland. I mean, pretty much everybody knows that. Um, Pretty much it's like a catacorn above the abdula oblongata, like back here. So it's kind of like you can get closer to it from the back. I mean, but that's not even a particular. That's my conversation ain't got nothing to do with that today. Um, Anybody can find that out pretty much about where it is. But ultimately, if the particular knowledge for that aspect was to say that that is their place for a particular reason, it's placed there for the access of the golden elixir that actually rise up to 33 vertebrae, sits down in the five fuse vertebrae down by your tailbone, goes through your nervous system, comes back up that 33 vertebrae, sits in the middle of the solar plex between your chest and your backbone, rest there for 3 days, rise back up to your oblongata oblongata, goes through there, process back to your pituitary gland, then hitting your pineal gland, opening the eye, allowing the light to shine down upon your heart. That is the true process of that. So I don't know what your reason for saying that that was there for. I mean, everybody knows that's there. Like that is neat. I mean, I'm trying to. I mean, I know it's a fun fact and all that. I mean, I guess if that was just your point, then that's cool. We're down a couple seconds. This is about to be uploaded, and then I'll be able to start this live stream, because what I'm going to get into today is basically about the liberation of all energies, everything living and non-living, transfer energy from one person through perspective and attention value. I'm going to illuminate the aspect of all universal principle, how divine has seen this fit, and I'm going to start this by using this particular upload that I started this morning, and we're going to get into a lot of discussions based on the value of being responsible for one's energy and what that entails, connected to the particular value of actually giving life to things when you don't know that you have given life to it. And then who's trying to block this understanding of divine principle, to have you filter your energy through concepts of reality. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, got you, cool. Concepts of reality that will subsequently liberate you from any controlling aspects of your life, and then free you to allow you to connect to spiritual things instead of using them as your food, your slaves, or your outlook on life to control or manipulate anything in this value. Thus, you being the progenitor of the same thing that maybe your ancestors went through. So we're gonna start that way. And give me 1 second, let me upload this stream real quick that I just particularly got. I just downloaded. Hold on 1 second. Downloads. Video. This is you right here on Slow Mo Jones. Okay. Supreme Rising, good people. I know y'all probably like, yo, what Naga at, yo? He don't be dropping his joints in the morning. I haven't seen just a regular post. He been running on live. He just been live with it. Well, yeah, no question. These transitions have to take place. They have to. And today, this bill is about spiritual liberation. I'm going to say a lot today. Spiritual liberation. Y'all seen that glitch already? Yeah, it's already started, baby. I done been outside already too. Yeah, you already know the vibes. So look, this is spiritual liberation. The ancients believed in animism. That was the main aspect because animism speaks to the value of all energy never dying. It's just jumping in and out of circumstances. It's transitioning. Even scientists, they tried to steal this concept for themselves, talking about E equals MC squared. Idiot, yo. Like, just dumb, yo. You're so stupid. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of the idiot show. I'm so tired of the idiot show. I'm so tired of the idiot show. I'm just so tired of the idiot show. You're just so stupid, yo. So stupid. And most of them was like born pedophiles. Like, they was young doing shit. Like, you came in the world just effed up and blaming everybody for your fuckery. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how many of them it is? They start forming these little groups. They start forming these little groups and they start doing dances together and stuff like that. You can find them everywhere. They attach in schools. These little groups of people, they like the worst. You know what I'm saying? They the worst. You know why? Because they're afraid of the natural order of things. They terrified of the natural order of things. So when they started, y'all gotta understand. Y'all seen that glitch? They tried to hold me while I was looking up just now. Yo, it's crazy, yo. The energy, yo. It's the energy. Like my man Cassidy said, I'm the energy. I'm the energy. You see it? So it's dope because this is what they did, y'all. This is what they did. They reversed everything that was real. And you only focused on the smaller parts that they reversed because that was the part they were a part of. What does that even mean? What are you talking about? Listen to this story. Please share this video. Support the stream. Information is always in the description. Support the stream. Support the upload. Support my time. You like these jewels? Support it. Damn it. I ain't just taking care of me. I'm taking care of people who work with me. You know what I'm saying? So support the team. And they all beings of divine pretense. So when you helping me, you might be helping a village. You might be helping somebody pay their bills. You might be helping somebody get started with something else when you pay me. That's what's going on over here. NAGA. So, they did it in reverse because you got to understand. It's like when you come in on the tail end of things and you mad that you just existing now. Like imagine you woke up in existence. You just existing. You looking around, the sun burning you. You just want sex and meat. You can't stop touching yourself. You mad at everything. You bumping into stuff. You afraid of everything. And then you find something that is terrifying to you. It's terrifying to you. When you come up on it, you are terrified of what these beings are. But they show you love you have never felt in existence. They show you a structure of being that you've never seen in existence. That was 444 when I said that. They show you what it is when
I'll say this, and y'all heard me say this plenty of times. With divine, you get an option to pay attention to the values, right? So when they wilderness craziness, before they was taught anything, when you walk around with every parasite study, you needed something to show off. When you still shitting in a bedroom, and you ain't had no toilet, you was shitting on the corners of the floors. When you was shitting on the corners of the floors in the room and pissing in the room, and y'all would take shovels and scoop it and throw it out the window. Or carry it on boards or something like that. It was something like that. They were afraid. And they were showing a feeling that didn't exist. You got to understand, coming from when they came from, they never felt these particular energies. Have you ever broke down the ideology of sulfur? See, sulfur itself is terrible to the human body. To like an original being, like of the earth, you can't really be around the sulfur mines. You see when they go, like when the Chinese go, or like when some of the Africans go, how they go and they go to the sulfur mines and they got to cover up. You know what I'm saying? They got to cover up, but they taking chunks of sulfur out to do stuff in the world with. Sulfur is poisonous to original beings. You know what I'm saying? So the incorporation of sulfur into one's being, you got to look at that. You got to look at why some beings have that sulfur base. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was it? What is it? We're like it's the prokaryotic cell and the eukaryotic cell. Shout out to bro Kalai Amara. Kalai Maya Amara. The prokaryotic cell and the eukaryotic cell. We're carbon based and some people are sulfur based. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand the two potentials and what direction they going in. This is spiritual liberation right here, because with understanding animism, it spoke to the value of everything, even inanimate objects having energy. And, you know, I spoke to it a while ago. Like, I was speaking about, like, this box, like me always carrying this box with me. Now, this box has my essence on it now. It's not able to move, but I've been carrying it so much and touching it so much, I'm pretty sure it carries a form of electrical value. You pick it up, you might feel me. You know what I'm saying? You might particularly feel me because I've endowed energy into it by holding it all the time, giving it attention and putting light in it. See, they don't want you to understand the simplicity of divine. Because if you knew the simplicity of divine, you'll never follow nobody. You will never, ever, ever, ever follow nobody, ever. You'll just be like, nope, I already know. It was beautiful when my daughter and my son was little. They used to say that all the time. It was dope, you know what I'm saying? Like my son, I made his new name as in term of meaning God's coming. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, it was the first time I ever heard that name put together like that. You know what I'm saying? So I named him Jamir. And when I named him Jamir 19, 20 years ago, nobody had that name. But that same year, the following year, everybody had that name. It was like somebody got the memo, and I ain't told nobody. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, they named their kid Lamir. Somebody named their Quamir. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to come to an end, so I'm going to start over in a minute. I got to connect it because it's supposed to be long. So I got to go delete some things so I can continue. Or I might just come back on the live, yo. But, yeah, he always... Okay. Let me get up in here real quick. So, all right, I named him that for that particular reason, you know what I'm saying? And he didn't even know by default
he would be like this. I know. And I'll be like, what you think you know? He'd be like, I already know, Dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, he always like that. Like, it was mad funny. And I would sit back and revel in that value because he don't know why he knows already. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I prayed the divine spirit into him. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh wow. Wow. Salute to you. Yeah, chakra, that's dope. I can imagine. So she's 45 years old already. I can imagine. So yeah, like my son is he's just so like the frequency, giving that frequency, you know what I'm saying? And naturally he just taps into stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? His understanding level is just his comprehension level is just amazing. Right. He's aware he's a superior being. But what was crazy was he'll be like, I don't know if I really believe in that, Dad. I'll be like, you don't understand. You'll come to it. He used to say stuff like that when he was 11 and 12. You know what I'm saying? Like 13. Like he didn't really focus on religion, but he just knew stuff. He can comprehend. His comprehension level was enormous. You know what I'm saying? I would just sit back and just love that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I had that Kundalini experience in 6 or 17. Wow. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so ultimately, these particular values speak to a lot of different aspects that are given to us innately. You know what I'm saying? We don't get a chance to horn or harness our innate ability, you know, to look at the spiritual aspect of who we are. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I spoke to animism, because it wasn't just the life aspect, it was everything's aspect. It was whatever we put attention to. Everything is alive, you know what I'm saying? Because everything dies. You feel me? So that doesn't mean that because it dies, it doesn't exist. The energy just transfers from one situation to the next. You know what I'm saying? So where these particular controlling aspects come in, it was deemingly forced against the actual creation of itself. So it's like negating, it's like saying, hold on, it's like saying negative and bad. Negative frequencies are not bad. They're just frequencies. You see what I'm saying? Like negative frequencies coming from the universe is actually a waveform. That's why it's negative. Positive frequencies coming from the universe is actually a L or an angle. You know what I'm saying? Like it's if this is different angles, that's why it's called a positive. It can be crossed in a respect. So they only describe certain things. The core system blocking is true reality. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So understanding how programming works, right? So ultimately looking at these frequencies as you being in an abusive situation, like you're correlating negative with bad. You're correlating positive with being happy. You know what I'm saying? Like these things are not even true retrospect of thinking. So when somebody takes an aspect and they said these things are bad, you should not live this way, you should not do this, they're optioning out life. They're literally optioning out life. You'll sit down sometimes, and if you have a high, you'll notice, because if you have a high perplexing mind, you'll sit down sometimes and you'll be like, why is that my only choice when I could just YZ? And it's like they'll be stern on you focusing on a particular set of choices opposed to the broader picture of the whole thing. If I see three options, but it's 700 ways to get through those three options, I'm not going to only choose from those three options that you give me. That's control. Multiple choice question and only has three options, but I can solve that problem 110 different ways. You're controlling me. Period. I don't fuck what criteria it came from. I don't care what teacher. I don't care about direction. Liberation is allowance. How would I not allow my kid, the largest thing in the known universe, if it was possible? Why would I subsequently block off my child or anything I'm created or what I'm coming from to feel the indifference of any of these particular values? Why would I do that? Why would I do that? That's like the worst thing in the effing world. But this is what we allow people to do to society. These animals is bad. We can eat these animals. That right there is jury. This is entertainment. This is where you should go. This is the material we need to make this. These are the finite things we need to make that. They are optioning out the value. And then you insignificantly remove the value of life from life itself by treating it how it's being promoted to you. This is control. You're becoming the slave master, becoming the lost people. Being lost is not being mindful of one's energy that comes with you. You are the energy. You are the energy. So imagine, and I said this the other day about, they used to use this funny little quote. They would say, if a tree falls in the woods and nobody's there, it doesn't make a sound. And then some people would say no, because nobody's there to hear it. Well, of course it makes a sound because there's other trees in the forest, right? So obviously something felt it. But that question in itself does what to you? It dehumanizes you. It separates the spiritual energy from other things within its own aspect. If nothing's around you, that doesn't mean you're alone. Being found can be lonely. But that doesn't mean that being lonely means you're by yourself. You see? Are trees lonely? We would see that to be such, though, right? We would trees are lonely because there's no motion. You would go in the wilderness and feel by yourself, when in fact you're amongst millions. I take pictures of the clouds. And I do a mirror image of them like this. And it shows beings in complete forms. Eyes, nose, weapons, different things. I got so many things. I got dragons, I got deities, I got Krishna, I got Vishnu, I got Obatala, I got the black Jesus face, I got Egyptian gods, I got gods that are unknown, and they stand way behind the ones that we are frequent. These energies were spoken in the height of the golden age, and they said everything in creation and non-creation has an aspect to become. And that was the end of that statement. Everything in known existence has an option to become. I was perplexed by that at one point because I never seen something inanimate become yet. So something I was waiting for, and then I'm taking the pictures in the clouds and I see a robot perfectly. I see a cat with cartoon eyes perfectly. Like this is not pareidolia. Like if I was to show these pictures right now, you'd be like, this is amazing. I have so many of them. Like over the last week or so, I've taken like 500 different pictures. I got so many of these different pictures. It's crazy right now. I'm still splitting some of them to make them, to see what they are, like still mirroring the image to see what they are. This controlling set of people, they form these groups because the groups of illumination was formed. You had groups that of the height of the golden age that spoke to anybody that life can be whatever they chose to be as long as they followed the divine principle. You see what I'm saying? They allowed you to be that in your highest aspect as long as you went with the grace of divine energy. So that's like you can be whatever you want to be under the guise of the universal energy. That means go forth and be you, but know what you are first. This was the reason for people to start studying their spiritual animal. You have 21 grams of electrical energy inside you that we call light life. It's your life force. When you die, that light sinks into your body, or it comes out and your body sinks in. You defecate and you piss. Your body becomes beef jerky. You know what I'm saying? It's hard, like plastic. Then it starts to calcify and it goes back to the dirt, whether it turns to stone or turns to dust, right? So what does that entail? The most important thing is the fact of the light life. Inside of you is things that are happening that you can't really see on a microscopic level. That light that's inside you burns sigils. It burns information inside you because it's divine energy. That's who you really are. You can't rip yourself open and find a piece of tag that says your light hit you here and your name is this. You'll never find that in a living circumstance. This sigil is burning you throughout your existence, what your light entailed through manifesting through the refraction of what you are. So as you go through life, you are pushing out energy every day, right? You're pushing out every particular day. This energy is describing, this light is starting to describe you on a universal aspect, your true name. Your true name came in when the light hit your body the first time. Boom. It comes through your pineal gland. It comes through the sauce head and it goes into your body and fills you up. This is what you're supposed to be waiting to settle. This is spirituality. When it comes from the universe, you're supposed to be waiting for that spiritual energy to settle in you before you start making any true motions. Most of us don't understand that. So then you get these young spirits that come in and they go buck wild because the light is not all the way in there yet. It's not all the way in yet. You have to make karma. You have to have a karma. Karma is memory. Okay, karma is good or bad. Karma is memory. So if you don't have memory, you don't have anything to learn. You see what I'm saying? So some of the first energies that come in, they burn up fast. They get a lot of money, a lot of trouble. They die. 16, 17, 18, 13. Some babies. Just so attractive. Their energy is so attractive, something terrible is going to happen. This is the balance of the universe. You start to understand these balances as you get older, and you're the middle of everything. That is divinity. That is the gateless gate. That is you not choosing right or wrong because you understand that this is a particular quality. This is the equal quality of one coin, two sides to one coin. None of them hold no value over either. This is why you're supposed to be the experiencer. Every experience is fleeting. It's 90 seconds. You learn it, you live it, you let it go. You don't hold on to it now. Emotional concepts. You're in motion. You're moving. You're emotion. You're in motion. So when you're in motion, that means you're feeling things because you're moving. Okay, you're feeling it. You have particles, hair follicles that come out of each little pore in your body where electricity can actually come out. So that hair is there so you can pick up on frequency until you're able to expel particular energies. They don't want you to understand that you are the master version of Tesla's coil. Tesla's coil was a pocket-sized version of you. It was the pocket-sized model of what you are. Knowing that you can give light and light to anything. They even told you it will be a time where you can hold your phone in the air like this and charge it up. Why would they tell you these things knowing that all they do is study you? The existence of the understanding of melanin is the fact that it can be in three places at one time. It's the true version of multiplicity. Every element wants to be melanin or ether. The combination of the two makes creation. Divine power is unmatched and unresonated anywhere else. So when divine comes through, it punches through what? Melanin and the ether. Because the space between that, those are the levels, melanin and ether. This is the flow, melanin and ether. This is what the universe is. Divine is on the space where you can't see, inside of all that. So when divine comes through, it makes a black womb or a universal whole, or what we call it punches through, it pops through by happenstance. It creates a womb. So that creation is created in that aspect. Not by choice, not by thought, I'm making this. No, where it is, it's all knowing. It's coming into a space of non-knowing. So it pops through melanin, and then when it does that, it creates. So that boom, that boom, boom, boom that comes out like that, it throws off melanin and ether. That rolls into the existence like this, through the waves. And as it's rolling, the sediment that's existent in the waters. You start getting pieces to form. The strongest part is the light. That punched through. That piece that punched through formed the sun. It formed the sun by happenstance for what? To stabilize the whole. The energy came through, boom, and flew. Now you got a vacuum. It created a sun to stabilize the vacuum. Boo-boo the fool. Don't take rocket science to understand that. Don't take NASA. Don't take confusion. It just takes focus. Knowing that we all are a particular version of these waves that manifest into this understanding, we have to be truly mindful that these energies are trying to be taken away from us to understand the perplexities of how we engaged in the universe itself. Once you start understanding your placement and how energy actually works, who's going to tell you anything? Your job will be every day to grow the spiritual light that you have inside you, the light life. That's the only thing that matters, the light life. And every day you're focusing on that, not just for yourself. You learn that now your integrity is based on seeing people's light first, right? So this is the reason why they form groups, to tell you no, because they were told no. You can't have one God to serve all. It's too much spiritual energy out here. Why would one be the point? Make a billion seeds. Who are you to tell divine is wrong? No, you told the people they was wrong. So your mom came and brought you the box of ices, told you to give everybody one and put them up. She went in the room or left outside. You walked in there, I got the ices. You ain't getting none. I give you. You want one? You can't get one. No, you can't get one because you ugly. I don't like you. Here, you can have half of mine. And then you leave and go stash 6 for yourself because the other 6 siblings didn't get one because you just wanted to be an idiot. And then you tell your mom, I ain't give them one because they was bad. She believe in you because you just ain't shit. Yeah, that's how these little groups got started. They were already butthurt. And it was like, that's how they gonna treat us? Well, we gonna treat them the same way. How petty I'm sounding right now, whether you believe it or not, this is how it happened. Because you had enough gall to make it to the top of the table, where the golden table was, and they said, come in, we will listen to your story. I will hear what you have to ask me, people that we just showed how to be in existence. I will let you talk. What the fuck you want? I'm going to listen to you. What you got after learning everything I'm telling you that's so perplexing that I need to sit here and pay attention to what the fuck you're saying. You know what it was? It was a no. It was, it can't happen. You know why? Because you have a nation of people with you. It's a bunch of y'all. And for me to consider that would be selfish. Each and every one of them has different criteria and characteristics about yourself. Look at your people. Look at them. They're all different and they're all still looking out to grow. They all want to grow. Why would you want to control that? Well, we want our own space. No, you want your own space. You understand that one person that had the balls to go sit at the table and ask this question, who had the balls. He said, we want different. No, you had over the crowd of people you was dealing with. They didn't want that. You just sounded good talking. You was the dude with the shadow puppets in the cave with the light hitting off your hand. You was making the butterflies and the dog faces. They followed you because you had hand art. That was as far as your perplexity went in understanding. The hand art. That means you was the entertainer. You can get inside the people. They would follow you. You can block liberation. You knew you can get them to serve you. Why? That sounds like a curse. That sounds like something that you was already penalized for the first time. You was already penalized for that the first time. There's nothing under the disrespect and the disobedience to the divine. And it wasn't disrespectful really to the divine, it was disrespectful to divine pretense, the existence of divine's activity. The fact that divine creates in majesty, in always good, bad, and indifferent. Something felt indifferent to that because its creation just wasn't that value, or as it seemed the value should be. Thus, this motion was set into motion by the degradation of this actual charged universe. It was set in motion. Now you are here to face this per session. Per session means each quarter. No matter how much you rise, you fall back to that same. This is your penance. So as this was your penance, you seek to impress this on individuals. That was your charge. This is now your condemnment. You created aspects of living and you went to block off such circumstantial values because this plane of existence clashed with divine creation. Nothing more, nothing less. There's no science to it. There's no story. There's no greatness. Fuck spaceship. Fuck a boat. I'm serious. All of this shit comes down to we're told no. And that was embarrassing to you because you made the hand puppets. You know, the shadows. They listened to you. Everybody believed in you. And since you were let down, you vowed to let down the world for as long as your existence or the people you had in your existence exist by any means necessary. So to the fact the negative vibration of frequency was created in its own, whether you knew it or not, you created your own divine being. We believed in animism, that everything had life, inanimate objects too, when the energy was placed on it. Once you developed a hate so passionate, it didn't even have a description to the wordplay. The wordplay didn't even exist. The motion didn't exist. The terms wasn't even real yet. They manifested in their own body of yours. It was the image of you, an electrical concept of feelings that you never felt rushed through your body before because you didn't know what control or lack thereof was. So when that happened to you, you was told no, and you had to let down your people, unbeknownst to you, understanding the undermining of universal pretense. You fought against that in disobedience once again, creating electrical synapses in your body that formed a being. That you now today that you feed off your in your own particular power, off your own disillusion and rhetoric, off your own lies and manipulation. It feeds on that because that you created it out of your being. Let it be. Watch what it becomes. What's said once is always said right the first time. That's where you may go wrong and miss these understandings. Words are carried in their own integrity based by the person, the frequency of these particular values. There is not nor a group, nor a pope, nor presidential value, nor pulpit that represents the value of spirituality over than Ptah. Ptah was the understanding from the earth to the astros, the plane of existence, your connection from and to. Nothing more. To finitely connect these values push your roots deep into the earth so you can stretch farther into the cosmos. Trees are electrical valued. The pyramids are the biggest obelisk known to man. The pyramids are the biggest obelisks known to man. Oh, they're pyramids. No, they're the top of obelisks. This world, this plane, is a giant mound. That's why we don't understand it. And it's close to it like this. So many bodies have died, and they were big. They even wrote it down one time, and they told you the earth was meat. People used to walk around with like buckets. You never heard about the pit of meat? They try to hide a lot of things, yo. The truth is very, very different than what you think. It's way more disturbing. Way more disturbing. This is why people can't ever understand the divine concept of reality. Like, you'll never really get it. You never really get it. Psychedelics do help. This controlling aspect and what people are afraid of is everything you should be dealing with. So the vibrations to lighten the load, how these things are actually promoted to you right now, people use them in the concept of reality of the negative and the positive. So you have people out witchcraft. You have people out here doing spells. You got all this other shit. Because you know why? That was promoted. Natural value. Divine is all powerful. You heard a brother say almighty. Yeah, this is something we say as a kid. You know why? Because why would I have to do anything when my power that exists is almighty? The old heads knew. They said, be still. When you are still, you are not using your light energy for nothing. It's actually absorbing at that point. It's like put your phone on the charger. Be still. So when you grow your spiritual energy, knowing that your body has a certain percentage in it, more than other parts of your body, right? Then that means it entails the level of mineral conductivity that you're having and the fact that you are a synapses. You know, we all want to rub and hug a tree. That's a beautiful thing. But if you're a meat eater, does it synapse the same way? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the particular value. Everything has life. I eat meat in moderation, but I also, thanks. Divine knows the process of the world, but the process of the world shouldn't overtake the way you are. You are still a light being, and intention is the value. So do you drink and get drunk? Do you look and watch? Do you taste and devour? Do you not understand? To illuminate you away from certain things, not pull you deeper into them. Your heart rate is a feather because your experience should be lighter than perception. What is that about? You addicted. This is you falling deep into the aspect of reality. It gets real deep, yo. Like, the more we try to literalize the freeness of divine creation, the more you try to structure and box and bottle divine's creation, the more you try to structure and work and perpetrate the value of divine's creation, you are literally writing. Your light will never be satisfied with the actions of physical capabilities of being in its own right. and it's a part of a light aspect. It illuminates. So naturally, through any circumstance, to bust darkness down. It has color now blended. You can't light get so darkening because you can't see dark. But the bright, this is divinity. You hear these, and this female, she keeps saying, God speaks to me. God says this. God said these words. And then I'm listening to not too long. God said something, and I didn't know why God would say that because I didn't think God could, like, yeah, because you ain't listening to God. God ain't saying words to your getting mad when people say dumb shit. Sometimes I get pissed off, yo. I really do. She's like, the next vision I heard was God said he's afraid. I'm like, afraid? Afraid of what? Afraid of what? You're not listening to God, lady. And stop telling people that. All right? Don't run back. Come back. Don't run. You ain't listening to God. God will never tell you the emotion value of somebody. God is not sitting there gossiping about Sarah down the. God over here like, hey, look, this is how I feel. And if that's what you think God is telling you, you need to do a cleanse. You need to say, you need to go sit down for a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to don't eat, don't drink. Just sit still for a day. I'm serious. Clean all that out. Let your body purge. I'm serious. Matter of fact, go into the next day. Don't eat or drink nothing. The next day, drink baking soda and water. Wake up. That's it. Because that's what your body produces. Give divine what he made your body produce. People don't understand what this how this thing is glitching. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure they're trying to stop this flow right now. We going almost in an hour, yo. They're not gonna let it cook all the way out. They like, yo, he talking something different. They always do me like that. It is what it is. I don't even care. You know what I mean? So you gotta like, and when you drive fast, that point to where you understand what's happening, all the light inside of you start to fill up the pores of where the dirt is. It starts to, all the blockage, the bull crap you put in your body, it starts to illuminate these things. It starts to go in you, push out, and everything that you're doing, it starts to, you're like, wow, I feel like this. Your energy is through the roof. You are literally like closer connecting to the divine at that aspect. You'll notice your language will change. You'll notice you'll be just mad happy. You know what I'm saying? These natural processes you don't have to try to do. You ain't gotta try to do that. You just do it. It's just there. It's not like I gotta go buy this. I gotta go get these things to make this happen. You know what I'm saying? It's none of that. But the world makes you feel like this is how you have to come. I got you. So the world does these things to keep you in a particular controlling aspect, and then they garner all these little different groups and aspects to keep you this way, and they tell you don't go searching. If you're searching, this is this and this is that. You know why? Because they know what you start searching, just the act of you being in the motion of divine energy liberates you. Did y'all know that? Just the act of you going towards divine gives you power. Did you know that? You know what I'm saying? And here's an example. Right, right. Yo, we're trying to get towards just the solar in the air. That's a little harder, but you can get there. You can get there real fast. You know what I'm saying? Like I love my liquid fast. You know what I'm saying? I love just like pure water, like in science. So it's like I get it in water. I can get in hot water and then like I'm not sick. You know what I'm saying? Like if I get like a cold or whatever, and in hot water and everything comes out. Like I'm like, y'all feel great. That took 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like water always makes me feel better. You know what I'm saying? So I keep me some coarse sea salt, drink a lot of water. You know what I'm saying? A lot of water. And it actually does me benefit. Like, all right, so I'll be honest. ago, I was in hard situations. And to eat, I was going through some shit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I gotta get on this grind. Shit wasn't shaking. I didn't have nobody to reach out to things change. I'm like, damn, yo. So I was like going on day 2. Whew, shit was rough. So my homie came through, he scooped me. He was like, yo. I was like, you don't see it? And in my body, I was hurting. Like my legs was hurting. My feet was hurting really bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, dang, yo, I'm hurting. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing I could really do about it. Like, I was hurting really, really bad. I sat in the sun. I smoked. I finally got a chance to eat. And it changed. My skin swelled back up. You can see the fluid in my skin. You can see the life. I felt the energy. And it was just a little that I ate in the beginning. But then I went and it's this road that nobody drives down. It's just like an old road. It's kind of growed up a little bit, but it's beautiful. Like all the life on this road is beautiful. All the birds. There's so much life on this road, but it's like abandoned stuff down there, you know. So I go down there, like I go down there, and I'm like sitting under this giant old oak tree, right? And as I'm sitting under this giant old oak tree, the sun is just beautiful, yo. I'm staring directly at the sun, like I'm looking at the sun, open eyes like this, staring at the sun, and it's giving off like this purplish blue. You know what I'm saying? This purplish blue energy, you know what I mean? Like, and it was so powerful. I was like, yo, look at that, yo. Like, I was like, so, and it was like reflecting me. And it was actually my mindset at the time. I was literally in my throat chakra and in my pineal. So I was seeing the purple and the blue. You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy because as I thought, me being in the mind chakra, I thought about, you know what? I ain't had nothing in a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been a while since I had me some, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was laughing at myself, and I'm looking at the sun color go from purple to blue to a red and orange color, like the lower chakra and the solar saying, like, so I'm like, yo, look at that, yo. Like, just with a thought, it changed from purple to blue, like the higher chakras in the throat to it's like my balls and my stomach, yo. And I was like, yo, look at that. Just that thought changed those chakras just that fast. It was funny. So it was like as I was laughing, it was like this. It was like it glitched. Like I was laughing at myself as I laughed. Like it laughed with me in a sense. It was funny. Like, and I felt so good. And I sat there in the sun for hours, yo. Like I had like 2 blunts. I rolled up 2 blunts and I sat out in the sun and it stayed up. Like it was, I went out there like 6 something. You know what I'm saying? Expect the sun to went down already. Like I stayed out there for like 2 hours, yo. And the sun still was up, it felt like. Or maybe I thought it was 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like it just felt a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like it felt like a long time. And the sun was just sitting there. Like it was just chilling. It was weird. I'm like, am I noticing it now? Like I'm sitting there bugging out. So I'm like, yo, you supposed to go down, like, right? You got something to do. Don't you got like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, like, it was weird. I'm saying it's weird. I'm like, yo, don't you got somewhere to go? You got the moon come out, right? Like, you got jobs to do. Like, you got a tree line to hit. You got a destination to go, right, brother, man? You gonna hang with me for the rest of the day? It's starting to feel a little weird. You know what I'm saying? So and it's crazy. Like as soon as I decided to get up and I left, I'm walking down the driveway, going back to the road or whatever, and I'm like, you know what? It's getting dark. And by the time I hit the curb and got back to the building, the sun had went down completely. Like I looked behind me and it was gone, and I was like, yo, you set pretty quick, bro. Like you was up out of here pretty quick. You know what I'm saying? Like it was crazy. Like I'm like, yo, just like that. Just like that. And I was like, wow, we're not paying attention anymore to the light life that we have with us. We're not paying homage enough to this connection that we are. And this connection, not a time scale of some form of indifference, is what we are. We are the light. We are the rise of that. We are the set of that, the happiness, the sadness, and it's reflecting us. And the more you have awareness of this particular value, the more it strengthens to your awareness. Divine did great here, and he did great things for you to see that you are here. And these groups of people do not want you to know this. You know, they don't want you to know this. Like, you are freaking awesome, yo. You are something different. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the more you give your energy to the world, because you have to think these priorities are something, this life is something, the less you're doing. You're killing yourself. And you know what? I heard Billy Carson say this, and I'm saying this right now on live. Okay. I'm taking my energy back. It's mine, son. You heard? I don't care what kind of position these dudes be taking. Like I be hearing my people say my word verbatim, yo. And you go find old shit I did like 10, 15 years ago, yo. I be tired of people taking my turns. Even my homeboys be like, yo, you said that. That's something you said. My homeboys would come tell me these. Yo, you heard some homeboy saying it? Like, yo, B. And people know I don't even be around people like that. Like, I don't even like people like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to find me, go in the woods. You know what I'm saying? Like, go in the woods, yo. You want to find me, go somewhere where ain't nobody at. You might see me on a tree, on a cloud. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might see me riding a surfboard in the ocean. You might see me somewhere. I don't even like people like that, yo. I be on another plane of existence, yo. Like, that's how my mind is all the time. You know what I'm saying? I walk through the earth like it's okay. Everything is fine. You know what I'm saying? People be like, yo, you can't move around. I'm like, why? Divine is my authority. Tell me no, he'll send a lightning bolt. He'll crack ground real quick, and I'll be like, oh, okay, I stop. I pay attention. Billy Carson said, if we all walk away from the system and stop right now, we just stop, what are they going to do? I said that shit like mad years ago, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I would put this post and repost it and repost it and repost it and tell people, like, I was telling me, everybody was like, I ain't stopping my job. Nobody was feeling me. Nobody was feeling me because everybody was out here trying to make something happen. Everybody was chasing a bag. I was like, yo, the power is in the hand of motion and involvement. This is something I particularly focused on for a minute. The power is in involvement. You are involving yourself in optional situations just to obtain falsity, like fake stuff, when the real value is within you, the connection. You give value to diamonds, gold, jewelry, and everything else. You give value to that. So I initially said years ago, if we separate from the system, and I'm not, you know what? I can't even take credit for that, yo. I can't even take credit for that because that is a biblical. It's always said, come out of her. It always said that. Divine has always said, come out of her. I formulated it in my own perspective because people had the different ways of looking at life. So I would say things like, if we all stop working right now, what would the world do? The day everybody say stop, just like they had that movie, Brad Pitt and the dude Fight Club, and everybody was working together and they started blowing up shit. They was like, we're everywhere, we're everybody. You know what I'm saying? We can do anything, whatever we want. That energy should be replaced by everybody working for the divine in that aspect. So if y'all want, y'all could just say your job. What is a boss to people? What is a boss to people who don't care for the boss? What is a boss to a person who don't care for the building that the boss is representing you in? How fast do you think they can fill that building back up with people if everybody just walked out? Power and demand and force, not false, falsified circumstances will get this world back into order. I can't do that by my little self. Yes, I can see the truth, but I don't got the power to go and say, hey, buddy, hey, buddy, you're going to relinquish the power to the people. You're going to stop what you're doing. We're going to get back to doing it right. I don't have that. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless divine put me in that position, then I'll be able to do that. And then, like, I need big heads too. I need some heads, giants, some big people, just in case y'all get out of line, they can like throw somebody in the ocean. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, hey, Bruno, toss him in the Atlantic. And we're like in New York or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, right? What? Stop feeding your family. Man, get out of here, dude. Nobody said nothing about stop feeding your family. You know that shit. That right there sounds a slight. Intelligence is a fortitude, not an indoctrination. Don't let that be your issue. Nobody never said anything about stop feeding anybody. And the earth provides for feeding situations. You can take everything that you have. So nah, man, I'm just saying, yo, like it's okay. Look, we put too much time into the convenience. We put too much time into the processes. We put too much time into the rhetoric that's developed. So therefore, nah, no, you won't. No, you know, it's because you grow, you can grow. You can grow your own food. You can raise your own whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that is, you can grow that value. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So you got plenty of time on your hands. You know what I'm saying? Like you're retired, you got plenty of time on your hands. You can have your windowsill filled up with little microgreens. You can have your little baby greenhouse outside. You know, you could be processing that in your yard. You know what I'm saying? Like you can do whatever you want. You're retired. I'm pretty sure if you're retired, that's money. You know what I'm saying? So you can go do things right now while you have the opportunity. Like this power. So you know what I'm saying? My OG King, like you can really, you know what I'm saying? Come on. Like, you know what I mean? You could be making some differences right now and actually promoting that value to people. What about Billy Carson claiming to be a Marine sniper? He might be. Who knows? Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares? Like, you know what I noticed? And this is always going to be a fact. Where the numbers are large, and plentiful, that lets you know that the particular energy is not correct. When there are masses and masses and masses, you need to worry. You need to worry, yo. When you have masses, you need to worry. The road to salvation will always be narrow and thin. And the reason why that actually is a manipulated statement is because you can confuse someone about the place where they working. Like if somebody goes into the spacious road to liberate people, then ultimately you can get caught up in that whirlwind, right? And then if you're by yourself on narrow roads and you don't have particular understanding or perception, you can be trapped on that road by yourself, right? But this is what it was really meant to, because we're talking about trees, you know, we're talking about trees, right? So if I have a root ball, like if I'm growing plants and the root system turns into a ball, right? Then ultimately what happens is the nutrients can get blocked up because everything is guidance in that spacious. They're blocking up what can actually get to the tree, right? Instead of spreading out and taking its own little, way to help the greater good of things. Whenever we have roots that open up correctly and they spread far and wide in the dirt. They feed the top of the tree with more nutrients. You notice that the tree doesn't have any gap. They have a lot of branches. They have a lot of leaves. It spreads large fan and it shades, right? And it gives off a very strong girth. This is because those are spread evenly. And they were able to take their own way from the source energy. I used to grow, man. I used to grow, and I had a lot of strains, can we teach God consciousness? Divine consciousness can only be accepted in parcels. Nobody gets full divine consciousness until you're growing in that spiritual aspect. If you was paying attention to me earlier, I said when we pass on, you have 21 grams of light that leaves your body. This is the spiritual energy. Well, we've had conversations that speak to the fact that while you're here, knowing that you deal with the 33 vertebrae and the rise of the golden oil, and that can particularly happen once a month for the existence of your time, and you've probably just learned this now. So that entails that the divine had it set up for us to grow our spiritual energy a long time ago from birth. And initially, your spiritual energy was growing with the NI scent. You are NI scent. Innocent is not a real word. That's a manipulation. It's NI scent. Divine. Take everything back from what people said and give it back to divine. Yeah, 21 grams of light in your body when you die. That's a known fact. Your body sinks in like this, and you sink in. So it's 21 literal light that disperses from your body when you die. That's your soul. You know what I'm saying? So trying to stay on point here. As you said, oh, can I teach God consciousness? All right, so the fact of going through knowing the understandings of the process of how these how the oil works, how it rises. It's actually hidden. It's in the Bible, but they take it out so you don't know it. Like, and if you go to the King James released 60 books, but it was 3 other books that he had, plus it was 80 books. You know what I'm saying? Like, so these people are always doing stuff. Plus, he was gay. I'm not even getting it all. I don't want to go that way because then I have to deal with why a gay person would do X, Y, Z, why, and then I have to talk about the chemical balance of their brain and all this. I don't get all into that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's gonna hurt people's feelings. But ultimately, understanding that you are here to grow your spiral light from the age of from being in the womb, which is a particular age, because when you're consummated, you're actually, but they don't mark that as being alive when you're growing from the time of consummation. But you are alive because you're actually in growth. You're growing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're growing. You know, you have life that is producing your light producing for you to be, in this water at that moment in that belly. So you go through the 9 months when you start gaining the light and it starts to grow large enough for you to break through the bag or the sac that you're in. So you pop through that sac. Now you're in the fluid of the woman, of the belly. And then you're sitting in there for a while, and then you come out of that ocean and you go into a port. And this is where you get your birth certificate and you come into the hospital or wherever you're being born at, and then you come into life. So now this process was entailed to create your cycle, right? This is 9 months of the high. Why do you think the females get the spinal taps and all that? Why do you think they even go do that? Because they know it's a lot of that golden energy running up inside of them right then, because they're producing a light. They're producing a whole life at that point. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of that golden kundalini energy being processed because it has to go into that child to give it life. You see what I'm saying? That's what's going to give it life. Some of that golden energy. And then that has to grow through the infinity symbol until it can stand on its own, right? To keep producing its own level of life. So we were supposed to master and lock down that process of physicality that takes place with us. So then every month you would be aware of your eating habits, your energy, and your output. So therefore, when it was time for the kundalini or the rise of that oil that happens once a month, it would rise your consciousness. We were supposed to be doing this as a process of humanity. This was supposed to be a process of humanity. In all aspects, we are lacking in all aspects. We are lacking in all aspects. And that comes from the detriment of following particular values of these falsified religions. Now you think being happy and messing up, begging for forgiveness is what this really, no, you're being manipulated. Maya even spoke to the value of the spirit not being a part of the flesh until it rises above it. This is what tattoos really idealism to be even existing, because when the spirit rises above the flesh, it literally burns the sigil of what you are into your flesh. These are different beings, and they exist. They've existed for a long period of time, and transition from that aspect to a higher aspect. Nobody wants to really see the truth because it's too powerful, and ones who will never reach this level of power don't play them. They don't even talk about them. Never hear it, but it's knowledge out there that speaks to it. What they'll do is they'll play the dominion role of the demon to these particular light beings. That means their job is to deflect you from this truth. Remember they told you the angels, and they would say the angels would point out your flaws opposed to giving you grace, because they didn't want you to respect divinity as that creation. So they'll be like, look, they're not like this, they're like that. You're not like this, you're not like that. Doesn't that seem like your churches today? Doesn't that seem like your preachers? Doesn't that seem like your authority figures? Doesn't that seem like the people who want to seem as authority to you? They're always telling you what you ain't got. They're always telling you you ain't doing it right. They're always telling you this, they're always telling you that. Soon as we tell them what they wrong at, you know what they do? Shut them down, close the door, lock it, take them, do that. You're talking truth. No weapon formulated against the original people will work. You didn't remember they said that. It just don't work. So the way they put it, it's never going to be correct. We just have to understand that as an indifference, okay? I'm not going to stay on too long because we're already at an hour and 24 minutes, you know what I'm saying? But I hope this was very powerful for you. I hope this was liberating. You are more than important. You are something different, and I know how to tap into that. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about comprehending these values when they take place. And once you do, and you start working that muscle on what this is, you start seeing the change. You start seeing the change. It's going to be small, but everything grows, right? Everything grows. Once you start understanding this, you're going to be like, wow, yo, I never would imagine. And one of the things I like to do sometimes, I could take my hand like this, right? I like light a candle, right? I light a candle. And I'll put my hand literally like right here to the flame, right? Like it'll be like here. And I'll just go boom and put it out. And I actually did a video on it, and I'll just do it like boom. And you can see the force, not the wind or my hand. You can literally see my aura put the fire out. Just me going like this, and I mess up sometimes because you really have to focus on keeping your aura in the right place. So I can just like boom, and you'll see like the aura that's away from my hand. It'll come first, and I'll be like here. But as I'm turning, my aura's here, so the aura will bend the fire down. So you'll see my hand here and bending like this, and then it'll lay flat before my hand is all the way over. And then as I'm pushing down, it goes out. Like it'll just push out like that. And it's all aura energy. You know what I'm saying? Like I actually have it videotaped down my stream somewhere. Like I try to show people what this is and stop like, you know what I'm saying, talking about it so much, but like, nah, I can show you this real. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when you focus, like I've seen my fist get big in a fight. Like I'm like, yo, I'm swinging a punch. I'm like, yo, it just seemed like my fist got really like big, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my goodness, it's big. Boom, you know what I'm saying? I've seen crazy things, you know what I mean? Like weird stuff. So I really think it's about energy, yo. It's all about energy and focus. And depending on where your focus at, manifest quantumly. Because that's what the ethers deal with quantum energy. So I ain't gonna hold you, yo. We're gonna get into some more bills later. You know what I'm saying? I just want to release this and liberate everything because nothing should be tied down by anything. And you have to be in a situation where you're dealing with the degradation of life. Make sure you give prayer to it and give homage and apologize because you're not forced into this situation, but you can be thankful that okay, no matter what happens. So you already know the vibes. I love y'all. Hey, Emoji King, I appreciate you hanging out with me, talking all your trash. You know what I'm saying? It's dope. Love you, brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna holler at y'all and everybody else who came through. Like, comment, subscribe, information in the description. Please show some love to the stream. We need it. You know what I'm saying? Plus, my family and my teams need it. You already know the vibes. Deuces. I'm out of here.